This week, we're going to look at some of the words of Jesus. We're going to be in Matthew chapter 5 today, and then probably maybe in chapter 5, chapter 6. However, we're going to look at this. This is the Sermon on the Mount. There's a ton of stuff in there. Jesus says so much. And we'll probably come back to this in time because there's an unlimited amount of time as we continue doing these videos. But today, we're going to look at Matthew chapter 5. Verses 14, 15, 16, what he says here, and we want to remember some of the things that we've looked at before. And so the first thing I want you to, really the main thing I want you to remember is 1 John 1 verse 5, where John has introduced how we've seen him, we've touched him, we've heard him, and this is the message, and he broke it down into one statement. God is light. Okay, so that was the message. So when we read this in Matthew 5, verse 14, 15, 16, keep that in mind. Jesus says, you are the light of the world. So when we realize that God is light, and apart from God, without God, the absence of God shining is darkness. Okay, so if you are the light of the world, and Jesus is declaring this, and remember who he's declaring this to. There's this group of people that he's talking to, his disciples and all that is there. And this is well before Jesus was crucified, before he died, before he was buried and rose again. So these people here truly have not experienced salvation, deliverance that Jesus came to bring in that moment. Now, we know that Jesus was crucified before the foundation of the world. So what he was accomplishing, what he said, it is finished at the cross, it was already finished because it was done. It was counted as done since before time, before the creation. So Jesus and his Father had already planned this, his victory, before the creation, before you and I were created from the dust of the ground. We existed in God's mind because you don't exist. None of us exist apart from him. None of us have life apart from him. He conceived you. And so he was looking forward to this day. He was looking forward to this time when Jesus is speaking and Jesus is revealing, you are the light of the world. Now, how in the world can you be light? Think about that while we finish reading these next couple of verses. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill can't be hidden. If the city is on top of a hill and the lights are shining, you can't not see it. The tower, the cell phone towers that have the lights that's on them, the flash on them, you can't not see them. Nor do they, or anyone, light a lamp and put it under a basket. They put it on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. You don't flip the switch on and turn the light on and then cover it up. That defeats the purpose. The light is there to shine light unto all the inhabitants, all that are there. The light of the city on the hill can't be hidden because it shines forth from there. It would have to be obscured. Something would have to cover that light. But why would you light a light to not use the light? See, this is the whole point. This is what Jesus is saying. So you are the light of the world. In verse 16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. And since God is light, the light that you are comes from him who is in you. There's no other way around it. The light is of God, from God. And the only way that you are the light of the world, that what his light shines through you and he is glorified, is that he is in you. He is the source of your light. So we're going to see in the next time on Wednesday's video we're going to tie this to something else that Jesus said. If you don't know your light, that you are the light of the world, then you can put that basket over it. You can be obscured. Because you don't know to shine. You don't know that it needs to be free to shine forth in the world, and you won't be seen as the light of the world. But Jesus declares you are the light of the world. So let that sink in. This is what he's saying, and he wants you to be aware of it, because if you're not aware, you may think that you're something other than light. But Jesus says you are the light of the world.